Okay, Google. How are you today?
I'm good. What can I do for you?
Who is the character Deadpool?
According to Wikipedia, Deadpool is a fictional character appearing in American comic books published by Marvel Comics.
Thank you. So,
That didn't explain Deadpool at all.
well, according to Wikipedia, it's a lead. Okay, so
I know everything I need to know.
Donald Glover, right?
Yes. Not
Grammy
related,
winner.
not related to Danny Glover.
Golden Globe winner, not related to Danny Glover. Celebrity,
A fact which constantly surprises me.
yeah. Troy
Wakes
from
up in the morning. I
Community
can't believe they're not related.
has a show on FX, of which he's the executive producer. Is a great stand-up comedian.
Childish Gambino.
He was in The Martian. He's Childish Gambino, who has done multiple albums that have just. He's part of the kind of the internet wave of people who are almost just self-publishing and just killing it. He's friends with Chance the Rapper. I think they're kind of that kind of crew of people. This guy's pretty successful,
Yeah.
and you can say he's pretty talented.
He's a Renaissance man.
He's kind of a
Yeah.
freak
yeah.
in the best way
Yeah.
possible.
He's a quadruple threat.
Yeah.
Mm.
What? Singing, rapping,
Singer, rapper,
Acting.
writer, actor,
comedian?
comedian. He's a writer too.
I was just going to assume
Right.
that he can
Yeah.
dance.
And he can dance. Well, he's not Usher.
He can say that. I can't say that
What? Why not?
because I'm white.
You can't say that he can dance.
I can't assume that he can
You can
dance.
say.
I think you can say based on how good he is at everything else that's musical.
Okay. It wouldn't sound like that if I said that, though. It'd just sound like I'm assuming because he's of a certain race that he can dance.
Wow.
What race is that?
African American? This isn't going where I thought it was going to go. Actually, it kind of is, but we're not going to get to that part till the next.
Can all black
Okay.
people dance?
So Donald Glover, I just wanted to establish this guy. I'm into this guy. He's good at everything. I like pretty much everything he does. Atlanta's great. Have you watched Atlanta?
Nah, heard it's
No.
good though.
It's worth it.
Is it
Yeah.
on Netflix?
I think you can actually get it for free through the SBS app.
Oh.
Well,
then.
ABC app. It's one of those.
Okay.
Well
One
then.
of the Australian channels that has boobs on it. I can't remember which one.
SBS.
SBS.
Now,
Traditionally.
Donald Glover was slated to release a Deadpool animated TV series made in conjunction with FXX this year. But earlier this week, it was announced that the cable network, Glover and younger brother Stephen Glover, would no longer be involved in the series due to creative differences,
Yeah.
reports THR. The Glover brothers were going to be executive producers and serve as showrunners on the animated take. The cable network announced that it would not be moving forward with the project on Saturday.
Are they the
Cool.
ones who make Rick and Morty?
No,
No.
that's Adult Swim.
Ah.
But they were also in the news for delaying the next Rick and Morty season a bit.
Yeah.
I didn't actually read the story, but
Yeah,
apparently
I
there's a
found that
problem.
really odd. Like, you think Adult Swim would just pick that up straight away, but that could be a Dan Harmon issue as well.
Yeah, it's probably someone asking for more
Yeah.
money and the other person saying no.
Yeah.
Mm.
That kind of situation.
That
But
could
that's
be it.
not related to this at all.
Yeah.
Except in the fact that Dan Harmon created Community and Donald Glover was on Community.
Yeah. For
Tangent!
4 seasons.
But, so that was like a couple of days ago.
Sure.
Mm.
But today or yesterday, depending on what time zone you're in, Donald Glover tweeted, "For the record, I wasn't too busy to work on Deadpool." That's not where it ends, guys.
Wow.
And then
Caddy.
he tweeted a photo of a script and then replied 30 or so times with other photos of the rest of the script.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So
This
he
was like
published
one episode.
and this script was called Finale.
Right.
Is that how you say finale?
Finale.
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 That was what it was
that
called.
was wrong. You
But if
started off right and you got wrong.
Yeah. So I just devoured this because I was like Deadpool and Donald Glover like together. Like that's like something awesome and something else really awesome getting together.
Sure. Did you
It's like Daft Punk and Tron.
Like
Like when you
cookies
heard
and
that, you're
cream?
like, that's such a
like
good idea.
PB and J?
Yeah. Like chocolate and peanut butter. So I'm like, oh, I read it in like 5 minutes, and it's an episode, but it's like a fake episode because in typical Deadpool style, it's very fourth wall breaking.
Sure.
And he's talking to the audience. And at the end of it, you realize it's kind of a letter to everyone, just kind of expressing his thoughts on like what happened and how much he wanted to do the show, and kind of like how like devout he is about it.
Mm.
But he's also kind of like neutral about it because
Sure.
obviously the guy's gonna still kill it for the rest of his life,
Yeah.
Mm.
or not because
Right.
he just poked the beast that is Disney, which own almost everything.
Oh, is that who FX is?
Fox.
Uh,
Disney hasn't acquired Fox just yet, though.
yeah,
They're getting close, but they're not there yet.
Deadpool.
But they own
it's
Marvel.
Deadpool's Marvel.
Yeah, but I think Deadpool still belongs to Sony. Like, the property still belongs to Sony.
Okay,
Yeah.
so in the episode, he goes to Africa, you know, like Deadpool does, Kenya specifically, I believe, and is
Oh,
charged
sorry, I mean Fox.
and is charged with protecting. I'm going to spoil the script, so if you actually want to read the script, don't listen to me from now on. It's actually really interesting. You should read it. I highly recommend it. If you're into that sort of thing. If you don't like reading scripts, don't bother. And if you don't get what Deadpool is, this is going to confuse the hell out of you. Now, this is so he's charged with protecting the last rhino, which died in the news recently.
Yes.
Did you see that?
It
The
did.
last what
The
rhino?
last male
White
white
rhino?
rhino.
White rhino.
The last male northern white rhino.
Why don't they just Jurassic Park that thing and just bring
They're
it
gonna
back?
try.
That's actually in the script.
Oh.
It's funny you say that.
Oh,
That's
that's
literally
actually-
part
oh,
of the
cool.
script.
That's actually part of real
He's
life.
like,
That's exactly what I'd
why
be
don't you just get the
thinking.
rhino sperm and
Just
make a
Jurassic
clone?
Park that
Like,
thing,
that's
mate.
they're gonna try and do that in real life.
Yeah. So he's charged with that. The rhino's called Sudan. I don't know if that means anything. There's a lot of layers.
There's
in
a country.
There's a country.
There is.
called Sudan.
Yeah, I know there's a country, but they're not in Sudan, so I
It
don't.
was just
know.
the way you said you didn't know if it meant anything.
Yeah.
I don't know that's a
Definitely
thing,
means
but
No, I mean, like, you know, when
what kind of
you
crazy
read
name is
something that
Sudan?
you're like, this script is so much smarter than me. I'm not sure if this means something. You
Ah,
know,
sure,
right.
like
sure.
those
Okay.
things.
Yeah.
And then, so
At least they didn't call it Wakanda.
it ends up it's just him and the rhino, and he's just sitting there chatting to the rhino, and the rhino's just chewing grass. So he's
Right.
pretty much talking to the audience.
Right.
So I'm going to read some quotes from it, and they're
Okay.
pretty feisty.
Sure.
This is Deadpool.
Quotes from the script?
Yeah.
Okay,
This is Deadpool talking to the rhino
sure.
and the audience. What? The Marvel stuff I said in it? All I said was Marvel was trying to sell toys to 7-year-old boys and 50-year-old pedophiles. You know, I'm not mad about this whole cancelled thing. I actually think it's a good thing. I mean, is it even a good time to have a violent, gun-loving white man ranting on TV? Other than the president? Do you think they cancelled the show because of racism? These aren't like right after each other. Sorry, I'm not quoting now. They're like just snippets.
No.
They are like.
Are you still?
No,
is this still in the script?
So this is the script. You're saying these are quotes from the script?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like direct quotes. Not. I'm gonna go.
Not
back
about
the
the
script
script. This
he
is in.
posted.
This is words from
Yeah,
the
word
script.
for word.
Okay.
Which is an episode he's written himself after it got cancelled?
Yeah,
Right. Okay.
because there's a lot of references in it, like the rhino thing. That
Yeah.
were like, obviously you didn't write this a while ago.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they talk about Beyonce getting bitten
Okay.
in it as well. So
Are we talking
I
about?
think he put that in there on purpose. Like, just like I wrote this.
that? Yeah.
It's like a swan song for like
Sure.
the Lost Project.
Hmm.
Do you think they cancelled the show because of racism? Yeah, but all the writers were black, and the references were pretty black too. I heard they went over the lunch budget ordering Jamaican food at least once a week. It just feels like everyone wants to be different, but no one anything different to get. This one, I direct quoted this one, but it's actually bad English. I'm
Yeah.
not sure if it was on purpose or not.
Sure.
So it's a bit confusing. It just feels like everyone wants to be different, but no one want to do anything different to get it. That's what it's supposed to say, but
Sure.
it doesn't say that. Doesn't Marvel have enough feel-good minority shows everyone supports but doesn't watch? I mean, I think our show would have been funny. I just wanted a place to be honest. So most of it's funny, but
Yeah.
then obviously those ones, they get pretty deep.
Sure.
And if you want to read them, that's them.
He gets real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So wait, why is he saying that it got cancelled? Because it was too racial, or not racial enough?
that's why he kind of bounces back and around about it. So he never really,
So-
because it's a Deadpool thing. It's hard to take what's serious and what's not.
Sure.
Hmm.
But he brings up so many.
So you're saying that he wrote the script after it got...
This script is post the thing getting cancelled.
Sure.
So this is a commentary on the fact that it got cancelled.
Oh, sure. This is what I'm confused. I'm getting confused about.
This is very
Yeah.
very confusing.
Now this is getting very meta.
Yeah.
But okay, cool.
Couple of layers of meta. So is his argument they were looking for a show that would be racial,
but they
and-
didn't actually want one.
Oh,
Or-
so he's saying because he did go racial, or because he didn't go racial enough.
So when they actually got to the reality of what he was making, they were like, "Oh, we don't actually want to do this."
Yeah,
I
right.
kinda, it's like saying I want pie, but then you don't actually want pie.
No, but that, knowing you work in this industry, you know exactly what it's like. You present something to the client that they've asked for,
yeah,
and it's not what they want.
yeah,
Like they go, you know what? Nah, we don't really want to do this. We're gonna go move in a completely different direction.
yeah.
It happened to Edgar Wright as well when he was doing Ant-Man, right?
Mm.
Because he basically was signed on to direct, and then the last second they just pulled him out of the project, and it was his baby for like 5 years.
Mm.
And so, but for whatever reason, I mean, an Edgar Wright Ant-Man movie would have been amazing.
Yeah.
But
Sounds like it would have been good.
Or at least interesting.
yeah, but it's interesting. I don't know. But I know that stuff happens all the time, though. As
Yeah.
in, you'll do exactly to spec, exactly what they've asked for.
Wasn't that why everyone found Thor Ragnarok to be weird? Because they let a weird guy do a weird thing?
Yeah.
It almost seems like they did that because of all the directors getting fired. They're like, we need to let one of these weirdos actually do something.
But I think also too, Thor was always the weakest of all the Marvel movies.
Yeah.
Thor was always a filler movie before the next whatever movie came
Yeah,
along.
but were they expecting Ant-Man to be a...
Well, I mean,
Big
I can
topic.
at least say Ant-Man was entertaining. I'm not, but that being said, I'm not looking forward to another Ant-Man movie.
No.
But Thor was always like, I'll think about seeing it. But
Yeah.
I wasn't like super excited to see it.
So,
Yeah.
so
To me-
you think he was going too racial for them?
I think that's what he thinks,
Yeah.
which is probably true. The guy's crazy smart.
Is that what
I-
Atlanta's like? Does
Atlan-
he usually get very racial?
The whole show is.
Right, okay.
It's about a black community in Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So-
I guess it's really hard not to be then.
There's some very deep parts in that show when you're like, wow. If you don't think racism is real, watch that show, and it like is very smart the way like it shows
Can
it.
Deadpool do racial?
That's the kind of genius of the script. Is honestly the first half I was like, man, he's really putting the black references in it.
Mm.
But then he kind of flips it on you when he starts talking about the racism stuff, and you start thinking about how you were reading the first half, and you're like, man, I was reading it through the eyes of this was a black guy writing it. It's so it's a head mess up thing reading the script.
Mm.
There's a lot of layers to it. I just thought it was super interesting,
Yeah.
and it's like, well, and it's super ballsy, like biting the hand of Marvel, which is.
And they can't. It's sort of the brand too. Like they can't go too far to one political persuasion in some regard. Like, I mean, even if they wanted to, it's not within their brand to kind of do it because
Yeah.
they have to go as wide and as they can for everything.
Mm.
So
But yeah, what I left out because I made it kind of clickbaity, those quotes.
yeah.
Is he has a conversation and was like, oh, but we had a whole episode about yoga. Like, why aren't the white people happy? Yeah. I was like, and Taylor Swift was in one of the episodes. Like,
What was this
it
meant
gets
to
really
be?
funny.
Was it meant to be like Deadpool's funny, but he's also like he's usually doing pretty big things, right?
Yeah. Well, he's just protecting a rhino in this one, and people attack
Is
him.
And this one, but like was the premise of the show.
I have no idea.
what was the
Okay,
age
right.
for this show?
Deadpool's usually
Well, I know it's supposed to be mature, but I'm just saying. Obviously, the movies
Yeah.
were, but I mean, as in who are they aiming?
There's a lot of swearing in the
Yeah.
and like explicit stuff in the script,
Right.
so that's
With the
probably
rhino?
one of the hiccups with it as well. Is it might have been too hardcore.
Deadpool has turned up in some of the not kiddie, but like the younger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A tame version.
hmm.
So I was curious.
But yeah, that's
Interesting.
that actually went longer than I thought it would.
Good old Donald
It's
Glover.
a shame.
Yeah.
Community is a
I
great
like
show.
seeing that.
Yeah, and like everything he touches kind of turns to gold, so it sucks that this happened. So let's talk about gonorrhea instead.
Gonorrhea or Pauline Hanson?
Super gonorrhea.
I think we've only really got time for one more. Which one of you like the story
Well,
more?
I think Nick should.
I'll just tell it just because I haven't said anything yet. So
I think you should do a topic.
Yeah, the cricket one actually went really long. I was
Yeah,
surprised.
Sorry.
oh no, it was good. It
probably
was
my
good.
bad.
I actually, you know what?
I learned a lot.
You've made your passion about cricket is infectious.
I mean, we have 20 minutes for the hour.
Do we?
Yeah, we only started at 20 past 8.
I
Yeah.
got the pre-show on this timer as well.
Yeah.